Anger.
Fighting.
Like the argument.
Battle.
Progress.
Fighting.
Helpful.
Growth.
Fights.
Violence.
War.
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 Management.
I think war.
Anger.
Disagreement.
Anger. My ex-boyfriend.
The word conflict often has a negative connotation. This might be because people don't handle conflict very well.
I'm not usually super conflicting, but I like to talk things out.
I tend to be silent and just let it happen. So I usually actually avoid conflict.
I'm pretty blunt with people. Usually I just say however I feel directly to them.
Slowly, I also try to be very straightforward with people so I can get it done with as quick as possible.
Well, generally I will avoid it if it doesn't seem like it's important. But if it seems important, I'll try to confront the person in a more quiet, open setting.
I try to go about in a peaceful manner. When I'm confronted by somebody, I try to turn the other cheek or come up with a way so there is no disagreement.
Diplomacy and peaceful resolution.
I usually avoid it until I can't avoid it anymore.
Well, I usually try and understand both points of view before I make a judgment, one way or the other.
Usually when I handle conflict, I try to address whatever the issue is early with the person to help them understand that I'm not the type of person that keeps things inside and holds them in and then bottles them up and then later it's really bad. But I just try to get it out in the open in the beginning so that the feelings can be mutual at the time and no one's like resenting someone for not telling them anything.
Talk about it openly, and then once it's resolved, let it go.
I think I'm just chill about it. I just relax and just talk it out. There's no use in fighting it out. Just talk it out and just resolve it. I think that's the best way.
I usually try to talk to the person that I'm having a conflict with, but not when I'm actually mad. So either if I'm mad, I'll take a deep breath and walk away and then talk later, or if I'll just try to, stay calm and talk to them right now.
I think it's easiest to handle conflict when you find common ground with a person and help each other to understand where you're coming from.
Although some people avoid conflict, other people offer good advice on how they handle it. However, we have found there's a disconnect between how people know they should respond and how they actually respond.
Normally it results in an argument, and the argument is because one person thinks they're right and so does the other person, and the difference in opinions has to change in order for the conflict to be overcome.
Usually in hurt feelings, broken friendships, divorcements.
It depends on the other person. Sometimes they handle my bluntness well and it gets resolved really fast, and other times they get their back up and it gets ugly fast. And then nothing happens.
I would say progress. Problem solving and more happiness than whenever it was, knowing that it's solved. Is there more conflict?
I think it depends a lot on the situation. I think often it will result in nothing. I think often nothing happens, but often something will happen and it'll end up good.
Depending on how I go about it, it can either go well or it could go bad. It could end up that we come to a term of agreement and there are no problems, or that we still are disagreeing and then there's just kind of part ways there.
Pain, suffering, and oftentimes resolve.
Conflict usually resorts in peace, I feel like, because you have to confront whatever the conflict is and then you can work it out and then it's usually fine after that.
It can blow up and result in hurt feelings and be terrible, but if it's handled properly, it can be the solution to problems. It can result in understanding, and it can really progress or help people progress in relationships or in problems to be solved and things like that. So,
Conflict usually results in just bad feelings, and you don't really get to an answer that both people agree upon.
Depending on the situation and the parties involved, it can either result in really, really beneficial, like relationship, friendship building benefits, or it can tear it apart and be awful.
It results in a better relationship on both sides. If it is handled well, there will be a better relationship, and both sides will know each other better.
Sometimes you get a stronger relationship, and sometimes you lose a friendship depending on how you handle it.
We are here to bridge the gap between knowing how to resolve conflict and the application of resolving conflict. We researched 5 tips that will help keep conflict from turning into contention.
Stay calm and de-escalate. Stay in control of your emotions. It is important to speak in a calm tone. If you feel yourself getting worked up, step away from the situation and look for a new perspective.
It's important to avoid the type of behavior our generation is prone to. We might try to hide behind technology.
We might try to get on social media, send an email or a text message to deal with our conflicts.
Face-to-face is the best option. This way, we can understand the person's body language, look at them in the eye, and hear the emotion in their voice.
Examine yourself first, avoid you statements, and be humble enough to take responsibility if you mess up.
Forgive easily and don't hold a grudge. It's always important to forgive others. This does not mean that you forget what they have done or condone their actions. You simply let go of the anger and never seek revenge.
Focus on the problem and not on people, even if your personalities clash. Everyone is different, obviously, and since you can't change the other person, focus on the task at hand. Remember, your way isn't always the right way, so be open to other people's opinions.